eSports.com – уникальное место для настоящего геймера. Только здесь возможны ставки на киберспортивные события. Ты знаешь толк в самых популярных играх и готов рисковать? Смотри регулярные трансляции и зарабатывай реальные деньги. eSports.com – живой азарт и холодный расчет.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. This is the SLTV Starseries Season 10, and you're watching NIPTV. I'm Anders, with me is Vendetta, and soon enough Semler is going to be joining us as well, but he's just updating the game and getting ready, so it's still just Ven and I. Vendetta, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Reading up on the reactions of the very recent news of the ESL map pool.
Yes, tell me, Vendetta, what is the map pool? Why is it interesting to us?
It's interesting because, well, as probably most of the people watching right now already know, we have had a pretty consistent map pool in CS for quite some time, and by quite some time I mean several years.
The last 15 years.
Yeah, pretty much. And for the next upcoming major that ESL is hosting, we have 2 new maps, which is a big deal, obviously, and it's something that's been requested both by pro players and the casual players and people watching. Pretty much everyone wants to see more maps.
Yeah.
But not
these maps.
Exactly.
I don't know. Look, so I've played only one competitive game on Cobblestone, and I've played 4 on Overpass, and all of it was painful. But
yeah.
Just in defense of these maps, I think anytime you play a new map and you do badly on the map because it's a new map, you're gonna be a little bit biased, but I think there are some very critical issues with the map anyway, and I mean it's way more than we can actually get into, you know, right before the game starts here. But at some point it could be really fun to have a conversation about it, because I think some of the maps have some elements that are sort of fundamentally non-competitive. We'll see.
I think the bigger issue is the fact that we do have 2 maps that are more or less globally accepted, or widely accepted by the community as a competitive map.
Yeah.
Who have not been added. Instead, we've gotten 2 fairly new maps, or I say new maps, Overpass is really the only new one, because Cobblestone was in tournaments back in 2004, 2005, and it was removed because it was not a good competitive map.
Yeah, as CBBLE, in case anyone didn't know, just Cobble if you prefer. Not called Cobblestone, in case anyone wants to go back and look at 1.6, which is worth doing, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, or Source if you want to. Now, you're right, and the other maps that we're talking about, obviously, Cash now is officially in, which is very cool. Season needs to be added, in my opinion. It's a good map, it's a fun map. And then, you know, the other map is Tuscan, which apparently Brute is never going to let us play, so that's very unfortunate. But it's been delayed once again, and I think everyone just wants it, because it's such a fun map, and it's a map that at least we know the pro scene can agree on, so we will see. It's going to be interesting to see what the actual reactions are going to be from the teams. I've been talking to them because I heard some whispers about this change to the map pool quite a while ago, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be some whining. There already has been.
A bit of an uproar. I know NBK is not a big fan. It has been well documented that he jokingly said that he would retire if Overpass and Cobblestone, or just one of them, was added into the map pool for ESL, and now he has both to look forward to. But I think I saw a tweet from him that he'd write up a piece about his opinions and his views on the matter that would be out by tomorrow.
Good.
So I'm looking forward to read that.
Yeah, look, Nathan's a smart guy, so I'm sure he's not going to do anything insane. But I think it's just a measure of his frustration with, because you gotta appreciate as well. This is, you know, $250,000 tournament, and you're practicing really hard, and all of a sudden you get thrown 2 new maps in, and you don't have a lot of time to play around with it. I mean, a month or 2 is no time at all in terms of practicing a map. That's what you gotta realize. So, but at the same time, you know, if you want to put new maps into the rotation, you gotta do it at some point, and anytime you do it, there is gonna be a tournament within 2 months, so you're always gonna step on somebody's toes. History.
Yeah,
it ain't easy being Valve, that's what I'm saying.
That is very true. You have to consider that pretty much whatever they're gonna do is gonna get either it's going to get criticized by someone in the community, even or it's either going to be the casuals or the more hardcore players like the pro players, or there's always some instance or some part of the community that's not going to really enjoy the changes they make, and that's kind of what it is, how it is being a developer, I guess. But
yeah,
I think
that's
they
true.
would have been a lot less backlash if they just added the maps that were actually well liked and, I guess, tested for competitive play previously.
It's really tricky because I was debating why don't they just do like some show matches to make the teams play the maps and then see what happens. But I think actually, if you give the teams an option, they will just choose no. So, in a way, forcing it might be the only way if you really believe in it. But it's a pretty risky move, and I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. We will, we'll follow that. Now, guys, we are actually ready with the knife round here. So, allow me to welcome you to the stream. You're watching NIPTV, and I'm Anders. With me is Vendetta, and soon enough, as soon as this game is done updating, we're going to have Semler joining us as well. We're going to be in a best-of-1 game here, Berserk versus Virtus.Pro for the SLTV Starseries Season 10. So welcome to the stream, and I think we may already have Semler joining in a little bit.
Yeah, I added him to the call, or at least I did my best effort to do so. So we'll see if he actually picks up, because he is here. He is here, so...
Is that you, Semler? I heard typing. That's usually a sign that Semler's nearby.
His keyboard is nearby.
Yeah. I
guess, yeah. I think, I think he was typing to me on Skype, and,
I'm still hearing clicking. Well, I'm sure he'll be back. It's probably just his microphone. As far as I think he's on a laptop right now, but he's bought his normal microphone, so it should be all right. We'll see how it goes. We'll invite him as soon as we know anything. It might be some audio issues once he gets on, but you guys will stick with us, hopefully, and it'll be all right. Here we go. Virtus.Pro, definitely the favorite team here, but Berserk, they get to start on the CT side. Vendetta, can they do better this time, do you think, than they did against Fnatic?
I think they can. One thing is, obviously, they have warmed up prior to the Fnatic game, but now they've gotten even more warm-up, I guess. So I think they're going to get a tiny bit more than 4 rounds this time around.
Oh, nice timing by Felix. He could have got that opening frag. That was very close to being perfect, but instead he goes down. Solid fighting it out with someone else, Snacks, I think that was, and he's got to be really careful. Asmo getting backstabbed, Snacks finally running in, and now Alex going to try and jump right into the bomb side. He doesn't check the corner there and actually gets taken down because of it. It's now a quick double for Snacks. Bomb is down, and it's a 2. Well, now make it a 1-on-4.
Look at the HP remaining for the Virtus.Pro members.
Yeah, please, right?
That's the heartbreaking part, isn't it?
Absolutely. And there,
Like,
a wild Sumler appears.
You got 2 guys who are sitting below 5 HP, and the other 2, you add them up and you get like 20 HP total. There was nothing left on Virtus.Pro's side. That's how close it was for Berserk.
It really was. And guys in the chat, tell us how Semler's audio is compared to the rest of us. To me, you sound a little bit lower than Vendetta does, so we'll see if you can turn yourself up a little bit, maybe that's going to be a thing. But other than that, Semler, of course, welcome to the stream as always. Always a pleasure.
Oh, you know it, bro. Let me see if it does this help at all if I crank it up like this?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better now.
Okay. So we'll put it there for now, and then we can go.
All right. Well, now let's see. It's going to be an eco round, of course, or a save round coming out in Berserk, but they already got the first kill, and Snacks has picked up a scout. There's also an MP7 on Neo. What kind of Polish Counter-Strike is this?
Well, Neo has actually been picking up MP7 for quite some time now, but they're running into a bit of a trap here. Because Berserk have heavily loaded up on this big bomb site.
Oh, look at that. Snacks actually jumping and shooting, and he gets the kill. That looked like it was going to be a very favorable round from Berserk. They can still do it, but it's going to come down to Asmo stealing this scout away. If he can get a quick kill on somebody here, if he founds Neo, he's going to be a one-shot. And the bomb has only just gone down, so they have time. He sees the one guy jumping behind the fountain, but Snacks is just too quick with that MP7. So now Semler, it's Rack in a 1-on-3.
Rack kind of caught behind the car as well. He's got a Nova, which is why Virtus.Pro don't exactly want to run up and say hi to him and just YOLO him down. Because he can still get some shots off here. They don't want to give him the bonus 900 bucks for a kill with this weapon. That's the big thing here. So they just want to try and keep him close and just make sure that he has no time to get in there to get the defuse. Look, Snacks has got the scout. He's like, jump again. I dare you. Jump again.
Double dare you. Well, not going to happen. Rack will save the Nova. This is still a decent round anyway for Berserk. They get to keep the 1 Nova. They did some good damage, but it's a little bit of a shame because of how close they were to actually winning the round outright.
Yeah, they started out pretty well. Got the 2 first entry frags, and they had already loaded up with 3 players on the B bomb site. So I was expecting at least 1 more frag, and maybe they could deny the plant for a while and actually eke out a round, but didn't quite work out in the end. But they do manage to retain the Nova, so that's at least something going their way.
Oh, grenade right to the face and 2 people going down. That was, again, this happened exactly the same way when they played.
Fnatic.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, Berserk not electing to buy any kind of flashbangs to actually make that peek over at Banana. So it's a little bit frustrating because you're right, Vendetta. We were just talking about this. They did it against Fnatic. They bunch up on the corner at the top of Banana, and a lot of other teams would have had 1 guy inside the B-bomb site flashing out, and then the rest of the guys who are in the circle, they could peek right after the flash. But Berserk, they decide to just stand and wait, and just like last time, they ate a grenade and killed at least 2 members almost.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Ben? It just seems to me like it's one of those situations where it's like cross your fingers and hope that Virtus.Pro are going to noob it up and just run around the corner blindly.
I think the ID for Berserk was the same thing as the previous game. They wanted to wait maybe 1.5 seconds more before they push out with 2 or 3 people. Without any nades, just like a sudden push to catch them off guard. But both times, both Fnatic and Virtus.Pro decided to nade, and that kind of screws their plan entirely. So I think that it was just a bit of unfortunate timing, but it's worrying if you're rooting for Berserk, because that means that they're doing still the same errors that they did versus Fnatic, and we know how weak their arch hold was, their arch defense, and how easily Fnatic got up there. So if they're not able to do anything about that, a team like Virtus.Pro is definitely going to take advantage.
And they will. Virtus.Pro actually playing really slowly at the moment, just grouping up in second mid and towards apartments. They know Solek has an AWP because Pasha had a quick duel with him in the middle. Now, once again, it's Alex with the P90 over here alone, so they really believe in this Berserk. They feel like it didn't work against Fnatic, but they're going to keep trying it anyway. We'll see. 45 seconds now. The smokes are going to start raining in, and Virtus.Pro are going to be ready to go very soon.
Yeah, they are working their way over towards short as well, but there's good defense here. 2 members, 1 on balcony and 1 waiting on the edge of graveyard. They should be able to get some eyes on this and start raining damage down onto Virtus.Pro, but Virtus.Pro already wrapping up 1 kill. Solek is down on the A site, and Rock, he can't do anything. Taz catches him off guard.
Finally, Asmo comes in with a kill, and it's going to be a quick double. Nice headshot onto Neo. Bomb goes down, but it's back to a 3-on-3, and then Bialik takes out the man in pit, and now the retake is so much more difficult for Felix and Alex, and they are actually just going to run away. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Asmo was the point man here. If he had stayed alive in pit, and it wasn't really his fault, but if he had stayed alive, they could have maybe gone for the retake.
Yeah, I think was it Rack who was
Rack who got caught.
On top of Castle.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he was in a really awkward position. If he gets that 1 frag and is able to basically duck away and hide in pit for 1 or 2 more seconds, that's a huge difference, and that could be a potential round changer for Berserk, but it seemed kind of awkward how Berserk kind of just got caught out, because the same thing happened with Solek when he got picked up first by Bialik.
So just to go through what, one of the cool things that Virtus.Pro did this round, and it's something that we've seen from a lot of different teams. I think Fnatic have been doing it a lot, at least. Smoking off towards the truck and the pit, because the pit position on this map, when you're on the CT side, is so strong. You can defend towards quad and obviously towards apartment as well from this pit area. So instead of actually trying to kill the people in pit, you just smoke them off, go and put the bomb down, and then deal with all that afterwards. So it's a very cool idea, and it worked really well for the Polish team. Now it's going to be, P90 and AWP, both at the B bomb side to try and deal with this, and then Asmo and Rack have pistols at A. And Virtus.Pro seem to have realized that that might be what's going on. They're moving at least towards that A bomb side. They were moving that way.
Yeah, Berserker, luckily for them, though, rotating back towards the A bomb site, and well, they're still in a favorable position as long as they opt to go for quad.
We do have Virtus.Pro actually moving up towards Arch, though. 1 man, I think that's Solek, Asmo rather, he just got caught in apartments. Now Taz taking point towards the A site, looking to get a kill on the guy on site. It's going to be Rack, jumps down and gets a point-blank headshot on Taz before he gets taken out. Nice play there, but that's just not going to be enough. Virtus.Pro, they've got 4 guys. Yeah, exactly. What is going on? Taz is pissed.
I'm going to save that screenshot. That was funny. Felix does get the body shot in, or the leg shot, sorry, on Neo, but he goes down anyway. Alex with the P90 takes down Pasha, but obviously this round is over, and it's going to be a quick 5-0 in favor of Virtus.Pro. Berserk just not making it work in spite of that crazy headshot, which unfortunately we did not catch on the camera. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought it was going to be a shot for the smoke from Solek, but it wasn't. But obviously Taz was impressed.
I like how Rock is just like, yeah, you knew I was there. It's your fault, man. You knew I was on spot. Yeah, I totally expect you to come flying off of the box into Taz's face with the P250. He won't do that.
Exactly, and that's kind of the mindset a lot of people have when they're playing. Like, you try to cut out, you know, when you're reading opponents, you're trying to figure out what is the most logical move to do, and what Rack did there was not logical at all. That's why it caught Taz off guard.
Sweet.
Is that the key though? That's the thing. It seems like Berserk, they have to try and just pull a rabbit out of the hat, go for crazy plays, but it looks like Virtus.Pro, they've got 4 guys waiting at the entrance to B, and they're going to be making this play fairly quickly here.
Yeah, Alex with a good headshot to start off with. A nice grenade combo as well from the German team. Now they just need to stay alive here. Molotov going to rain in to try and protect Alex, but that grenade hits dead on. Now it's Felix alone inside the bomb site. The bomb is dropped. Nobody picking it up right now for Virtus.Pro, and backup is coming quickly for the CT side. Nice damage done by Felix. Could have taken down Snacks as well. It's going to be a 2-on-3, and they still have no bomb plant, but Snacks is still going to be doing work. 2-on-2 now.
Snacks is relentless. He's making this happen for his team. Doesn't even matter that he's sub 10 HP. He still gets a kill. And now Virtus.Pro, they actually managed to make it out of the site. Berserk still expect this plant to happen here. They need to get forward and get the information.
This is awkward from Berserk. There's no way he didn't see Snacks run out of the B-bomb site.
Yeah.
This is just really sloppy from the German team.
And that could cost them a lot. Asmo now alone at the bomb site. Solid, look how late he realizes that something has gone horribly wrong. Now they are... I mean, they're going to spend the first 7 seconds just even getting to the bomb site, and then there's not a lot of time left. They do have a kit at least on Asmo. He's going to be running in. They get the first kill. Now Snacks going to have to come up huge. He gets the one, keeps spraying. It's not done yet. He jumps, and look how close he is to taking down Solik, but Solik survives 13 HP, and is going to get the defuse, so... Oh man, Berserk, they nearly threw that away.
They nearly did, and I'm surprised they opted to wait for that long, and especially both the rotations were late. First, you have the one Berserk players, Spot, Snacks, and Neo running out of the B-bomb site, so it's fairly evident that they're going to try their luck on the A-bomb site, and they still hold off for as long as possible. Worst case scenario, you just leave one guy there by Ruins, which they had. Solik was already posted up there, while the other guy rotates, and... like, as long as Solik doesn't peek and he just listens for people, they'll be fine. Now they just gave away a plant, so this means Virtus aren't really that affected money-wise. I mean, they can still buy up perfectly fine, and that could play a difference as they move along.
Yeah, now I'm looking at Asmo, who's up in the apartments, trying to see if he can catch anyone. A lot of wall banging going on. We can see those traces. This is one of the latest additions graphically, which I think is a very cool... tiny addition, but it's really cool. So I like it when Valve do these things that just make the game better. And actually, just to quickly point this out as well, the changes made to Inferno as well as a map are very cool. I like these. And they made the map a little bit brighter as well, so huge thumbs up to whoever at Valve decided to do this.
Yeah, the texture update is really sick.
Yeah.
Like, Inferno looks legitimately pretty now.
Yeah, very, very nicely done. I have to appreciate that. Look at Asmo, though, right through the smoke. Just turning off X-Ray here to see what he sees. Asmo completely confused, and they're running into the bomb site right next to his teammates, and they all go down. Rack alone is going to get double-teamed by Virtus.Pro, and they're going to shoot through the smoke. Even Snacks going down to a teammate. Virtus.Pro just willing to kill anyone.
They're seeing red right now, that's the thing. I mean, you still got Pasha. They're still just trying to take this fight. Good spray down there by Felix. Manages to pick one up over by Library, but the bomb is down, and it just has to be a big play that's just not going to happen. Pasha will take him out, and now it's all down to Alex, who's just sitting on B side hoping that Virtus.Pro aren't going to find him. Because this is like end of days time now for, well, for Berserk. They have no money. They are completely screwed as far as their economy is concerned. And VP, they're just going to keep steamrolling.
They are relentless at the moment. Alex seems like he's going to be able to hold on to this M4, so that is at least something going their way. For some reason, I can't bring up the scoreboard, so we're going to have to check the money at the beginning of the round here, and you are right. They do not have a lot on Berserk's side, whereas there's 11,000 on Biley at the beginning of the round. So Virtus.Pro do have some sort of bank in him and Pasha. 6-1. I mean, right now, it's looking like a replay vendetta of what we saw against Fnatic.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's surprising is that Virtus.Pro are not exploiting the same weaknesses as Fnatic did versus Berserk, which is, I guess, a bit of a worrying point if you're Berserk. But you mentioned this in the first game versus Fnatic. This is more likely due to the fact that they're basically just getting outgunned by a better team.
And look at this right now. They're just forcing the rotation right now. Virtus.Pro. They chuck a nade up on B, nearly catch Alex out. They found the rifle that was saved. And then they just send Berserk running. We saw a full rotation from A side just all the way over to B. Berserk right now, they're twitchy, man.
Yeah.
They're really twitchy.
Look at Asmo.
This is one of those things, again, if he had like a Max 7 or a rifle, this would be such a great position. With a pistol, it's really hard to capitalize on this. Even if he snuck up all the way behind them on Banana, if he got the right timing, how can he kill, 4 people with a USPS?
This is where you need the CZ.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Well,
if he had just invested in the CZ for that position, that would have been brutal.
Now the push is on towards the B bomb site. Felix getting sprayed down through the smoke, and Solik in the corner with the new Deagle not going to be working out. Asmo missing all the shots, and Rak's going to go down as the last player. So that is it after a pretty long wait actually for the Polish team, considering it was an anti-eco round. They waited for almost, well, there was 20 seconds left when they pushed, but it was worked out anyway. Yeah,
well, we're seeing similarities in the way Virtus.Pro played as to how Fnatic played. And I guess this is a common denominator for a lot of pro teams, that they actually don't make that many silly mistakes. They take their time, they figure out what's going on the map, and they just go together as a group or do things collectively, and that oftentimes results in a round.
In particular in an anti-eco round, that's what makes it so sharp for them, right? Because you don't want to be going off one man alone with a rifle, and potentially you walk into 3 Berserk members who are all camping somewhere, and they get a rifle for free. That's just not allowed to happen. So Virtus.Pro playing all 5 together, just taking their time and supporting each other, and they get a flawless eco round. And I think that was a back-to-back flawless anti-eco rounds for them.
Yep. Yeah. You're right.
So VP, I mean, now again, if we look at the money here at the beginning of the round, VP are starting to get pretty decent bank. You've got 2, 3 of them, very close, if not past the 10K mark.
Yeah, Snacks is the poorest person on VP, and he's got 7.1 after buying.
Yeah.
So they're in a pretty good spot right now. Berserk, on the other hand, they've emptied all of their pockets and scraped together a pretty full buy. So at least that's going in their way, but they have to get rounds now. They have to get consecutive rounds as well, because if they just pick up a single round right now and continues to lose, then I think it's pretty much over. They're already in a really rough spot with Virtus.Pro already having 8 rounds.
It's not looking all that good. It's actually looking a little bit worse than it did against Fnatic. So we'll see if something can change this. Again, it's the Polish team slowly moving around the map, just taking their time and setting up for what looks like a B push, but a bit of a variation. It's going to be Pasha holding middle, and then he's got Snacks here as well. So if Berserk make the wrong kind of rotation, or if they rotate too quickly to try and help out Alex, then they're going to get caught, especially in the middle here. And there it is. Pasha picks one off.
What? Blind. He picks it off blind. Felix does get revenge, but what a shot from Pasha to start. Now Virtus.Pro, they do get that entry on a B site, and Neo wraps into CT. He's got to catch a man off guard. Felix is out, and now VP again on the brink of winning another round. Not only that, rounds in a row, but the round that Berserk could not give up.
Oh man. I mean, Vendetta at this point, I mean, how many rounds have we seen now? Not to pick exclusively on Alex, you can't put everything on him, but I've seen a lot of rounds where he actually puts himself in a really good position behind the smoke, and he's really good at saving the smoke so that he has time to put down one where there's very little time left. So they push for the smoke all the time over at B, and he's all the time in a really good position, but he never gets more than just maybe 1 kill, and this time none.
I think he initially puts himself in a really good position, and then he opts for a worse position when the engagement finally happens. So he's... Initially, it looks really good, and it could potentially get 2 kills, but I'm not really a big fan of what he does regardless. The fact that he's playing aggressively as the sole protector of the B-bomb site. Yeah. Because with the amount of, or the lack of map control that Berserk has at that point, as you can see Pasha being all the way up in Arch and Snacks holding off Quad, and Berserk really not having any sort of information of where people are, him playing up so close means that if he dies, the B-bomb site is lost. So it could potentially be 5 Virtus.Pro members, for all Berserk knows, just sitting outside of B-bomb site and taking over the bomb site without any resistance at all.
You are right.
Yeah, not really a big fan of how Berserk are playing right now, but
It's not working out for them anyway, and this time it's Asmo to get caught, and that was a very, very hilarious moment that Snacks just showed us there. That was so good. Rack in the middle with a nice return kill on Neo, and they're still going to go for it, but the really cool thing is that Snacks spotted the gun barrel from Asmo, and he was going to throw a Molotov, and then he stopped. He saw the gun barrel and moved back and just took the shot on him easy. That was really heads-up play from Snacks. He gets another headshot here, and he is on the warpath, just going for all the kills at this point. Solid going to go down. That's triple from Snacks, and he might not even be done yet. Pasha gets dropped, and we'll see. Oh, finally, they take care of him. The bomb's going to go down, and now it's actually a 2-on-2, so they could do this still, Samler.
They've got, I mean, they have an AK on Alex. This is one good thing. Some firepower here. Now they've got 2 guns to work with, so Berserk can't see them backing off of this. They're definitely going to try and get up here, but Bialy with that position in the pit, like we said, so important for the defense after you've planted as well, and there's just no escaping it. Bialy and Snacks with 3, Bialy with 2, and VP yet another round. And at this point, as far as Berserk are concerned, you know, getting kills, that's all fine and dandy, but they need to be getting rounds on the board. Virtus.Pro, it doesn't matter if they live with 1. That's still, I mean, that's still excellent.
Yep, they do not care about saving that much money right now. Virtus.Pro, that is 12 rounds into the game, and I think Snacks had 17, 2, and 4. I can't bring up the scoreboard for some annoying reason, but he's got a lot of kills.
Yeah, 17, 2, and 4. Runner-up is actually Neo and Bialy both tied with 10. And there's
so
Solak
scary.
actually getting a start at mid. Bit of an aggressive challenge from him, and he catches Snacks peeking through second.
Yeah,
and this is a different setup from what we've seen Berzerk do earlier. They've got boosted up on quad here. And they're actually playing 2 people on B, so it's promising. It's a promising start for Berserk. Hopefully they won't rotate over 2 people towards ours like they've done previously, and that's what they're doing.
Oh, I was just as you were saying that sentence, they start moving out. Now, actually, the difference is they leave Felix alone here instead of Alex, so maybe that is a bit of a change anyway. Smoke goes up, Molotov as well. They're buying a lot of time here, Berserk. It's going to be not that much time on the clock when they decide to push through, but now they're out of flashbangs, or out of smokes at least. They have 2 flashbangs still, and now it's going to happen. 40 seconds on the clock. Virtus.Pro rushing in. Alex doesn't get the kill again. They come through the smoke. He should have the advantage, but he just can't find it. Felix in the back of sight. It's going to be Molotov'd out, and Bialy will pick up the headshot on him. Solek trying to guess through the smoke, but this is going to be a 2-on-3 retake for the B-bomb site.
Now, there's good damage dealt to Pasha, however, and Bialy both fairly low. Taz not too healthy either, and it's going to be Rock managing to pick off Taz. Good situation now for Berserk. 2 for Rock. He walks in, and now it's all going to come down to Bialy. He needs to stay alive in the back corner behind new boxes. He can just land 1 shot. They figure out where he is, and now they know they're going to close in, and Rock, all 3 kills for Rock from Berserk, and this is going to happen. The defuse, plenty of time. Berserk finally get a 2nd round on the board.
Oh, it's about time, isn't it? I mean, 2 out of 12 rounds, not exactly ideal.
It's not ideal, but it's better than 1 out of 12.
Better than 1. 2 is
basically
better than 1?
twice as good, isn't it?
Exactly, and you can't argue with that kind of math.
No, definitely not. There it is. Science for you guys out there, at least some maths. I guess that's almost the same thing.
Yeah. So the good thing there was obviously Berserk getting the enter frag. Solid did a really good job taking that aggressive peek in mid, and once again it picks off Pasha. And now the big thing for Berserk is not to over-rotate like they did versus Fnatic. We saw them actually playing 2 people on the B-bomb set last round, and it paid off.
This time they get the return, but Taz still, he shouldn't even have got 1 kill then pushing in.
I think Alex was caught out with a grenade in his hand, so he wasn't able to defend Taz off from killing Felix. I think that was the biggest share of it. Now Virtus.Pro are getting an easy bomb plan, and this is going to be a rough retake. Even though they are 1 man up, this is going to be a tough retake for Berserk.
Yeah, but will they do some good? Molotov damage. Bialy standing in fire and shooting, and he actually going to get the kill. It still leaves Snacks alone, and he will be taken care of once again, Samler. It's Rack with the triple kill to just retake the bomb site. So, I don't know. They did that very quickly. Once they got going, they were all there.
Rack City?
Yep,
exactly. Is that what it's about here? Because Rack, man, that is... I mean, obviously it's with the teams. The one thing there is that Virtus.Pro, they didn't have too many nades to hold off as well. To hold off the retake, to buy more time and put more pressure on Berserk. So... VP, you know, they throw a couple flashes, and then it was basically just Rack rolling right in and cleaning them all up. Again, I'm not sure. I didn't actually catch how much health VP had, though, if they were able to really just take the fight or not.
They didn't have too much HP, but I think the Molotov that Rack actually threw towards Bialy, that was the big thing, because from that position, from the new boxes back at site, Bialy could create so much havoc for Berserk as he tried to get on the bomb site. So that was a big kill from Rack and pretty much sealed the round. And Berserk actually got consecutive rounds here now. And for some reason, Alex has come back to the P90.
He's a firm believer. I don't know, man.
I think he's been playing too much matchmaking.
Yeah. Vendetta.
You remember when Existence used to do
this in matchmaking, Ven? That's what I want to know.
All kinds of evil people.
You remember when Existence used to use this way back in the day when you would hold B solo behind the smoke?
Oh yeah.
He would go P90 all the time. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Alex, you know, he went back nostalgia trip, watched some old games, and he's like, I'm gonna be like Existence.
Okay, now what I'm interested in is this boost gonna work? Because you pointed this out earlier, Vendetta, that they had got this set up towards quad, and they are ready for it. Rack on top, gonna get flashed. He goes down. Asmo to pick it up. He gets the one. He can't control the spray well enough. He's going to go down. Solid now defending. Misses the first shot. They know where he is. He's going to get the second one. Neo is now down, and Solid still holding strong, and it's just Taz left alone. 1 on 3 here, so a good defense coming out from the German team. Finally, something seems to be working, and it's not just Rat getting the kills now. Solid helping out too. So 10-4, and we're into the final round of the first half.
Solik really doing a lot of work in the past couple of rounds here, making it possible. That's 3 rounds in a row now for
yeah,
that's 3 rounds in a row now for Berserk. That's big. Now you kind of just wish that they had managed to pull this off towards the beginning of the half. Then we have like a real half on our hands here. It's a bit late to be showing up to the party.
I guess things could still happen. They could pick up the last round, win the pistol. All of a sudden it's 8-10 if things follow normal progression, I guess. But so they're still not completely out of it, but they're obviously in a bit of a bind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I love the new wallbang animations. That's so
sick.
It is
so cool, and it gives you a lot of information about where people are shooting from. The almost the exact angle.
The exact angle. Yeah.
Yeah, from the CT point of view, you can see where people are shooting at you from. So it's not just graphically, it has an impact on the game, but not a devastating one. I think it's at least as far as I can tell, it's good fun.
No, it's actually a pretty nice thing, given if...
Solik, don't you dare! Solik, what happened? Was he blind?
No, he thought he was going to peek behind the Molotov. He decided, I'm going to wait until he peeks to get the kill, and then unfortunately, he just waited. He manned up so much, in fact, that he just burned to death. That was, it was an incredibly manly move, but I think it was a little bit too much, and we actually see him just like hanging on the side of the railing here. That's like a devastating picture. Goodbye, Solik. We'll take a screenshot of this too. And over on Banana, they're going to run right into Neo, and he just instantly headshots them, and that will be 11-4. What a way to finish it.
Oh, what a way to go out.
That might have been the manliest play we've seen all year. Like, just being so determined to get a kill that you just stand in fire while you burn and just pray that you're going to get some guy with you.
Jungle of Forest. That's how Forest holds it sometimes. He'll molly and then run through his own molly. Yeah. It's not like it was close, but not this time. I thought perhaps maybe he'd spaced out. Maybe he just wasn't
paying attention.
Not moving. He's not moving. He's not doing anything, guys.
Out. You got tabbed out to Windows.
It's a pop-up. It was real play or something. All right. Well, what can we take away from this? It just seems like Virtus.Pro, they are really warmed up. Snacks, 20 kills. The ratio kind of fell apart there towards the end, but still, that's a good performance.
The way it feels like, because I think you pointed this out, Vendetta, that Fnatic won against Berserk in one way, and now Virtus.Pro winning in a slightly different way. So it's actually like, between these two games, Berserk, if they go back and watch the demo, they will have a map of everything that doesn't work on Inferno for them on the CT side. Yeah. So then they can just
That's big. Yeah. That's huge for them, because a lot of people think when you lose, you just lose because the other team is doing everything correct or anything like that. And Berserk are just a hopeless team that are never going to amount to anything. But 2 games like this, that's huge help for Berserk. So you could expect them to be a lot better in a pretty short amount of time the next time they play Inferno.
Yeah, we're gonna have to track that, see if they do make some progress here. Snatch with the opening kill, now rushes on towards that A bomb site, and Taz is up in Graveyard. He's gonna take down one. The damage being dealt to the terrorist side is pretty much overwhelming, and Pasha, they give them no breaks. They're just hunting them down. That was incredible by Virtus.Pro. The rotation was so fast, and even though Berserk were pretty quick to wrap around in towards the A bomb site, they never actually got a chance to reload and just shoot more people. As soon as they were reloading or even trying to hide, there was someone on them immediately.
Well, that was also Snacks pushing down Banana so quickly, and nobody watching from Berserk's side. unfortunately for Berserk, they weren't watching their back, and then Snacks, he just went right. I mean, he went right through him.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... That was Berzerk pulling the short end of the straw, really. If Snacks doesn't push behind there, then they actually have a legitimate chance of picking up the round, but now they're back in a bind, and Virtus.Pro making short work of them in the anti-eco.
Especially with Solic's performance again. Solic, he hasn't cooled off since the end of that first half. That was what, like 3 pistol kills for him? 2 of them really big. No, Solic on the Solic on the side of the pistol.
Oh yeah,
he was the one who got Taz, and then he insta-gived the man. I didn't catch who was sitting in the corner of a site, and then like he got 3 kills. It's just like Solic needs to be taking the point here, and just basically pulling a Snacks for Berserk.
And that's what it is. Solic alone. We're gonna go down. Virtus.Pro hunting them. That's 13-4. And just a quick shout out to the mods in the chat. If we can, I want to try and enforce a rule in the future, so we can might as well just start now. Let's make sure sub mode isn't turned on unless we get above 15,000 people watching. And right now we're at about 11, so let's keep the subscriber mode off so people can chat away. But if it becomes too crowded, then, it's probably time to put it on, because otherwise it becomes too complicated. So, just a quick shout-out like that. Thank you, obviously, to all the mods for helping us out. Double grenade from Neo, and we are ready with the 18th round, and it's going to be a very short one. That is ridiculous.
Something I do like to see, which is not that big of an impact, really, or doesn't really... Yeah, it doesn't really have any real impact, but the fact that Neo and Pasha are using the MP7, which is my favorite SMG, in CSGO. I like to see that they're still using it, even though some teams are still doing the armor ecos and all that stuff. It's nice to see.
Oh, MP7 actually does pretty decent damage versus armor as well, doesn't it?
It's not the damage that's so great, it's more that the accuracy is so consistent. So
true.
you could get 7 headshots. Obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's so accurate that you could actually mow them down even though they have armor. But I do definitely like that a lot better than the Bison and all those guns.
The Bison, the pea shooter.
Now look at this. They get the opening kill on Pasha, which is pretty cool. They had a double. They sort of had 2 people peeking middle at different angles, or at different heights, in fact. And when Pasha peeked out, you could see he was hesitating for just a second, and that got him killed. And now they have Snacks single-handedly holding on Banana here, but this is a pretty cool angle. And I kind of wish they would let Neo go back. Yeah, I don't think he should be here. I think they should just leave Snacks and then put the rest 3 and 8.
Yeah, you just realized that as well. And this could be a huge issue depending on how fast Berserk goes, because Snacks, just like in the pistol round, has the opportunity to wrap around them extremely quickly. As soon as he gets the go-ahead from Neo or Bialy, and there we go, he's already on the move. So this could be horrible for Berserk.
Oh, Snacks. He has been called out a couple of times previously, I've seen, as being actually not just a very good aimer, but a very intelligent player in general. And this kind of movement is pretty scary, hard to deal with, but he's alone still in a 1-on-2. He's going to walk up now. Grenade rains in. The bomb is going to go down. This is a chance for Berserk to get some more rounds on the board here, because they are very close to the edge at the moment. And Snacks trying to play a dangerous game. He takes down 1 more. It's time to reload. Now Solic in a bit of a predicament, and Snacks is going to go for it. He gets the kill right through the box. Well played by the Polish, up-and-coming superstar, it seems like. Going to be 15-4. That was a very sick 1-on-2 at the end.
It really was.
3.
Yeah, it was a 1-on-3 actually. That's true.
That is ridiculous that Snacks manages to pull that off. That takes composure right there. Cool, cold as ice.
Talk about having confidence in your aim, because he ran, when he crossed over, well, I guess crossed over from the mid side of quad to the pit side of quad. He had 2 bullets in his M4, and he used both of them to connect with the head of that one Berserk member. Doesn't really work out that well this time around, though. Virtus Snacks gets picked off, and Bialy answers pretty fast, and that's big for them getting Solic out, because Solic has been the facilitator for Berserk as of late, as you mentioned, Sam.
Yeah, he has been picking up.
Looks like they've lost both of the heavy hitters here, and now Rock has found Bialy. So they're kind of wondering as to what's going to happen here. Virtus.Pro haven't spotted the nade, or the bomb yet, rather, but Neo wakes up, headshot on Asmo, and spray on Alex, and now it's a 3-on-1. That's it. 16-4. Final score. VP with a handy win.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so Berserk definitely picked up a lot of things that they can work on. I guess that's what they can take away from those 2 games.
And yeah, I mean, I hope they're going to go back and watch the demos, because there could be a lot that they can learn from this. That's 16-4, Berserk losing to Fnatic, and also now to Virtus.Pro. Exact same scores in the previous game. And that is going to put us on to our next game of the evening, which is another Berserk game. But this time, they play their German brothers in the mouse sports. That is going to be in roughly 20 minutes, 15 minutes thereabout, depending on how quickly the match goes live. So we'll have a quick break once again. Guys, thank you for tuning in. The night is far from over, and actually the last 2 games of the evening are going to be the most exciting ones. It's Virtus.Pro versus ESG. ESG, that's Delpan, Rogue, Emilio, Hytten, and XM, or Mike Hilele. Going to be a lot of fun in that game. And then it's ESG versus Reason, which I think could also be a little bit interesting. But obviously the VP ESG game is going to be off the hook. So do not go anywhere. We will be right